This is a picture of my cat. His name is Finn. He's just a beautiful, beautiful boy. He's so sweet, and he's so talkative, too. He's always meowing, talking about something. I wish I had a cat translator so I could know what the hell he was saying. He's just so, huh? That's not what this video's about? What is this video about? Oh, that's right. Luka Doncic is one player of the month for February. That's right, everybody. Give him a round of applause. And you know what? Give yourself a round of applause, too, because I feel like we had something to do with this, right? The propaganda arm here at the Slightly Biased headquarters is incredibly strong. We are always churning out propaganda. And I was saying before the month even started that Luka was going to win Player of the Month in February, and then we would move. We would push our MVP propaganda afterwards, our MVP agenda, and we are well on our way, ladies and gentlemen. Luka finished the month averaging damn near 35 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. I'm rounding up a little bit. I mean, come on, I'm rounding up a little bit. 41% from deep on 10 attempts per game. According to StatMuse, he is the first player to average 30, 10, and 8 on 40% shooting from beyond the arc ever. During a month. He's the first player to ever do that over a month-long stretch, which I actually found hard to believe. Obviously, February has the least amount of games in it, right? Outside of November, maybe? I don't know. The season starts in October now. I don't think they have an October Player of the Month, do they? But either way, I'm actually kind of shocked that Luka's the first one to do this. I know 30, 10, and 8 on 40% shooting from deep is a crazy stat line, but over the course of NBA history, kind of wild that nobody's ever done that. So shout out to Luka, man. Obviously, John Morant made a run. He made a run there at the end. He's been insane as well. But Luka was just better, man. Just better at the end of the day. But today, I want to use this video and Luka winning Player of the Month as a vehicle to talk about some other things I want to talk about in regards to the Dallas Mavericks and why I'm starting to get a little bit optimistic, guys. Starting to get cautiously optimistic about this team moving forward. And I have some stats here that'll help you explain why. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, I don't think I've ever worn a hat in the history of this fucking channel. But I wasn't planning on recording a video today, and therefore I haven't showered or prepared my hair at all. And yes, I have to prepare my hair. My hair is very long, and you know, it's long, it's thick, it's curly, it's beautiful. So I have an image to uphold as having some of the best hair on YouTube. So therefore, I can't show up greasy like this. That's why I'm wearing a hat. But anyways, I have some stats to show here that are very interesting and very interesting things to consider as we move forward. Now, if you have been following me this whole season, you know that I have been vocal about my concerns in the clutch for this team. This team has had, going into February, they had the worst clutch rating in the entire NBA. I think they were getting outscored by something like 36 points in the clutch, with net rating wise, which is just abysmal. Right? And it was obvious if you watch the game, the team just regularly collapsed in the fourth quarter, or in close games, they would just start getting blown out, and the opposing team would just kind of pull away in close games down the stretch because the team didn't know how to close. But that is something that appears to be changing. Here's a stat right here. Top clutch scoring differential since February 1st. You can see the Dallas Mavericks are third on that list with a plus 19. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with the Golden State Warriors game where they had an insane comeback down the stretch, but still, the team is starting to figure it out in clutch time. And you can kind of see that watching the games. It's pretty obvious that the team looks like they know what the hell is going on. Earlier in the season, right, it looked like they didn't know what the fuck was going on at all in the fourth quarter of games. But now it's starting to look a lot better. Here's another stat here from our man Tim. On February 3rd, we'll talk about why that date's funny here in a second. On February 3rd, the Mavs ranked dead last in clutch defensive rating, 130.1, terrible, and net rating, minus 34.5. That is dude, that is so bad. Like, whenever I first saw our clutch rating, I had to sit down. I was taken aback by how terrible it was. Since then, Dallas is 7-2 in clutch games with a 77.1 defensive rating and a plus 42 net rating. February 3rd. I want you to think really quick what happened close to that date. That date is incredibly close to a former Mavericks final game with the team. Hey, I'm not singling anybody out here. I'm not saying it's one person's fault in particular. But it's just an interesting stat. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But it is encouraging to see this from the Mavs. And I think a lot of that has to do with this other stat right here. This is a very interesting stat. And if you've been watching the games, you probably noticed something like this yourself. Mavs are 5-2 since the KP trade, but Luka has had only one double-digit, Jesus, what is going on with me? One double-digit assist game over that span. He's had 4 games with 6 assists or less. Prior to the deadline, he had 8 occurrences in 40 games. So Luka is getting a lot less assists. I think in that Golden State game, he had 1 assist, 2 assists. What was it? Something like that. And in the Lakers game, he had 4, which is really, really low for Luka. Obviously, he's averaging, like 9 assists per game so far this season. Luka's potential assists have dropped from 17.7 to 14.4. 17.7 potential assists. But his secondary assists have increased from 1.1 to 1.9. That is a very important stat. What does that stat tell you? And if you've been watching the games, this stat will align with the eye test. The ball is moving. The ball is moving much, much more than it used to. And, a lot of that obviously has to do with Spencer Dinwiddie being here, a guy who, one, can handle the ball, can play make, can create, and is also a good passer. So the ball is moving around a lot more. I think a lot of that also has to do with, I'm not going to single out KP and say that this was KP's fault. I think a lot of it has to do with, over the course of the season, it really does look like Luka is starting to trust his teammates more and more and more and more. Situations where you would see Luka dribble the air out of the ball until there's 4 seconds left on the shot clock and then try to do something. He still does that. Don't get me wrong. It is still annoying when he does that. But it seems like those instances occur far fewer. What am I even saying? It feels like that happens a lot less than it used to in the past, right? It feels like that happens a lot less than it used to, where Luka would just have those possessions. It feels like he's letting Brunson initiate the offense, letting Dinwiddie initiate the offense, and moving the ball to other teammates. And that is very, very encouraging moving forward. That's very encouraging for the postseason, which is just right around the corner. And hey, you know what? Quick shameless plug here. We are going to stream every single postseason game. All of them. We're going to have live reactions. They're a ton of fun. Ask the people who have been here. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the postseason. I think it's possible. I think it's a reach. It's a bit of a reach, but I do think it's possible. So if you're not subscribed, please help me out and do so. Obviously, the Mavericks are playing some of their best basketball in a really long time. I mean, this is obviously, you had 2 years ago, Luka's second year, where the Mavs had the best offensive rating of all time. At that time, it got broken by like 7 different teams the next season, I think including the Mavericks again. But this is some of the best they've looked. This is some of the best they've looked, period. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with how they've performed defensively. We really haven't seen a team like this since Luka's got drafted play defense like this. But this stuff offensively, how they perform in the clutch, how the ball is moving around a lot more lately, very, very encouraging moving forward. I'm getting a little cautiously optimistic, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. That's all I got for you guys today. Luka wins Player of the Month. I know that this video is a little bit all over the place, a little more relaxed, right? Not as much edits and stuff. I wasn't planning on recording today, and I wanted to get something out because Luka won Player of the Month. So, yeah, bye. Subscribe.